Welcome to the second episode of Dead Air.
Wait. Let's do that again.
Are we not live?
I forgot the record. Amateur hour. Okay.
Still learning.
Still learning.
So we're on the second episode of Dead Air. I am Wayne. I am the co-founder of HANTU and the writer for Ghost Maps. On my right is Kyle.
Filmmaker and the producer behind Ghost Maps.
And joining us today, our very first guests, we have John and Jerry from the Longkang Kitties right here. I'm taking this from your Facebook page, okay? So the description is based on what y'all have written.
Which is like 3 years old, but okay,
yes.
let's go.
Just in case you forgot,
Yeah.
an entertainment podcast where... What was that?
Ghost.
Oh, okay. An entertainment podcast where three guys and a gal have intense arguments about social political subjects. Okay,
More or less.
Yeah, we got two of the guys at the very
Yeah.
least. So they'll be sharing with us their ghost stories and stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
We also when was the latest episode of Ghost Maps? This Thursday, this past Thursday, our latest episode of Ghost Maps went live. We'll be talking a little bit about that. If I'm remembering the title right, what was it? Gangster Got Haunted.
Yeah,
Gangster got haunted
by a lost spirit.
I can't remember. Carl, who was that? One of our fans that contributed that, or was it one of our friends?
It was one of my friends. Yeah.
Right. So one of Carl's friends contributed that. Did you guys hear the latest episode?
Yes, I did.
I did not.
I warned you guys about this.
Yeah, I heard another episode.
Literally before we started,
Yeah.
John was like, "I came prepared," and I was like, "What about Jerry? Jerry's not gonna be prepared." Okay. What do you think?
First of all, kudos to your voice talent. My goodness, that man is a silky smooth voice.
Yeah,
Yep.
that I agree.
And the particular story itself, I don't get why he left the gangster life after he saw the ghost though. There seems to be like about 2 or 3 steps missing. Maybe the girl was involved in a gang fight and she died, and the scars on her face reminds him of the scars on his back.
Why them darks? Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but okay.
Got a scar on the face. Oh, wow.
I mean, but that's just me being like overly, nitpicky about stuff. And
I hate to be a ghost that like tries to teach you a lesson. From the sound of things, like just seeing a ghost isn't enough to teach you a lesson. Apparently.
Yeah, he'll probably try to teach the ghost how to haunt you properly. Right?
here's some pointers.
Okay. Any ghosts listening?
Don't haunt me. It's completely worthless. Right, wasting time. Haunt Angie instead. One of my other co-hosts. She could use a good haunting. She could, get straight.
I hope she's listening to this right now.
Yeah,
She might not be, but
yeah, she might not be.
but everyone else will tell her about it. It's fine.
So, speaking of like listening in, one of our friends lost in Malaysia. Hi. He or she said that this is the best collab of the year so far.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
you.
And as Montagi, is that how we? Mabuhay from Philippines. Mabuhay. Yeah. That's high. That's high in Filipino.
Lost in Malaysia says Longkang Kitties has just come to debunk every episode.
I don't mind.
Go ahead, it's okay.
We need that. We need that. We need that.
Like
in
everybody who's
Ghost Map.
contributed an episode of Ghost Maps, right? They're like listening in now, and then like John's out there like, no, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, oh,
I think he's more of saying like it's not dark enough.
Yeah. I
Right?
think
There's no origin story.
Pretty wholesome though. The episode I
Yeah.
listened to was the race driving one, the street racing.
oh yeah, that was
Yeah,
the.
that
I
was-
think it was
that
the
was quite
second to last one.
Yeah.
Our timing quite tune also lah, because Fast and Furious came out. at the same time. We didn't plan it. Then Fast and Furious came out. And I was like, all right,
Really
cool.
already? Yeah.
I thought it was out already by then.
No, I don't see it in the cinema.
I don't see it in the cinema either.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fact check you on that. I'm not gonna debunk.
That's Angie's job.
It's okay. You're welcome to debunk me on when Fast and Furious came out. It's
That's
fine.
Angie's job.
Dude, whenever and if we ever set up a ghost hunting division, we'll invite you guys. You guys can lead the investigation.
I
Yeah.
honestly thought you were gonna say you were gonna get Vin Diesel to do it.
No lah. We can't afford him.
I just want to hold the device that just tick tick tick. I just want to hold that and just point it at random shit.
No lah, they don't use the tick 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 anymore. Now
Is
it's there's that spirit box thing
yeah,
where
no.
it's supposed to it's supposed
Really?
to cycle through all like the radio channels and everything, and if you hear a voice.
I thought they said dowsing rods.
I don't know. There's
This
a lot
man
of
is
tools.
born
lah.
in the 1800s, by the way. That's the running joke on the Longkang Kitties. That he's, in fact, closer to a vampire than to a human. And that is the old ways, the old Romanian ways of hunting for ghosts.
Dowsing.
Yeah, hasn't changed since dinosaurs don't change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be a pun? Or a play on?
Maybe.
I tried.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it was one of your friends, right? It was. Is your friend a gangster?
I think so.
Because I honestly can't remember which part of
I
this
don't
episode was-
judge. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe in the past lah. Like if
Yeah.
you look, there's the whole package lah, right? I'm just to put it to that lah. The man sold me whiskey lah, so.
How old were you when he sold you whiskey? I
No,
think
no, it was this
we
year.
can. Okay, that's
Oh,
also
okay.
bad
Yeah,
lah.
that's not
Okay
so
lah,
bad,
that's
but
fine
he's
lah.
obviously much older than me lah, but like he sold me whiskey. That's one of the first thing that we had conversation of. Remember the durian whiskey that I drank? Yeah, he sold me that. No, it's amazing, dude. Like, it's like the best. It's like the best thing ever. Like, really.
My face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the scariest thing that we're going to be talking about on this podcast. Durian
Why
whiskey.
would you distill anything from durian? I mean, it's good on its own, but
It tastes like
Too much of a good thing can be a bad.
yeah.
I don't know lah.
Right.
Maybe
It's
he
like
was drunk.
that YouTube channel that distilled whiskey, I think, from durian, and well, I mean, a bunch of white people, so they all puked after that.
Yeah. No, but it's done tastefully. No pun intended.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is coming from an alcohol and like durian lover. So.
Okay.
I cannot. Dude. Like, I'm sorry.
And then after that, I was like, hey, I was always blaming that guy. Hey, you got ghost stories or not? Because I run this, podcast. Then, then we started sharing, and then it was at like a gathering at a friend's place lah. And my friend was like, "Oh, you always like that one. You always come to people party, right? Then take ghost stories all." So we're gonna do the same thing to you guys as well.
Yeah.
Is it anywhere?
Yeah.
The whiskey is it anywhere near?
No, it's finished already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where are you looking? Looking for a durian? Take an intro on the floor.
No, I mean, if it's here, I would try it.
Yeah. We have aviation gin.
Oh, from this.
From Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Unfortunately, not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored. Not yet.
Yeah.
Because haven't take off because they air.
Oh. Okay, that's actually pretty good. That's good. Wow.
We're trying lah at the very least.
By the way, I think this is also the best live show name ever. Like for any other live show, if you call it dead air, it will just be absolutely horrendous. This is like negative marketing. Right?
yeah, because that's what we're
Yeah.
scared of. What? Suddenly got dead air on the middle of the show. It's like, okay lah, if it's scared, scared lah.
But if it's a HANTU, like a Origins podcast, man, this is the best name. I couldn't think of a better name myself. So,
We went through a whole bunch of terrible
Yeah,
names
we
lah.
went through. Yeah.
I can't remember some of the awful names that we came up with.
So did the Longkang Kitties, by the way. Yeah,
Love the name. I've always been amazed by the name.
Okay, wait. Since we're already on that, right, I'm gonna get onto the questions. So you need to tell us more about, like, just in case anybody hasn't listened to Longkang Kitties, tell us more about Longkang Kitties. Why did y'all start it, and why specifically the four of y'all?
Before he starts, can I have a tissue paper?
Sure.
Is this part of the story?
No, it's not. Yeah, something got in my eye.
Wow, so
he's already crying.
Yeah,
at the
but-
so
thought
emotional
of
the
me.
story.
Maybe
It was
it's,
actually
yeah,
hilarious.
maybe it's emotional. Maybe it's like, oh,
It's
John.
actually hilarious.
So I'll tell the story, Jerry.
Yeah, you tell
Okay.
the story.
Angie and I were friends. So Angie is another one of the co-hosts. We were friends from like 10, 13 years ago. We lost touch for about 10 years, and then I managed to find her again on social media. Her name is quite unique. She tried to look for me before, but because my name is pretty
John.
ubiquitous, like how many bloody Johns are there in the world, right? So so we managed to reconnect. First thing we did when we met was to argue with each other, and specifically it was about feminism and whatever lah. So subsequently, we still hung out for a while. So back in the November of 2016 was when I came up with the idea that maybe I would like to try a podcast. So back then it was like Joe Rogan was like the hottest thing ever, right? So I went to Angie. Do you want to start a podcast? Haven't said another word after that line. She's like, yes. I haven't even tell you what it's about. Doesn't matter. Yes, I just want to talk in front of a microphone. So the original pitch was that we would argue and we would publish the arguments. She rightfully tell me that is a terrible idea, and in hindsight 2020, right? Yeah, so it is a terrible idea, and she said like if it's just the two of us, probably isn't that great. So she was the one who introduced me to Jerry and Dan, whom I have never met before the whole thing, before Longkang Kitties started. So I think both of them, both Jerry and Dan, were thinking about having a podcast as well, but none of the ideas none of the other people they were thinking of collaborating with.
Yeah, they didn't want to do it or nothing clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then even for us, right? So the idea was born in November, and I think we met in December. Our first recording was all the way in like April, and our first episode was discarded. Like it was such hot garbage.
We finished it, we listened back, and we're like,
and delete.
nope.
Yeah. Like we're not even going to risk, right? Some hacker just like 20 years from now, oh man, like start hacking to my computer. Oh, this is some wholesome no, just delete it.
Yeah.
And we did another recording like maybe like a month afterwards or something. So that was like the first episode. That was Amos E. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, that was when Amos E. Like the first fiasco. I think when he was in the US or something. So that's kind of the origin story. In terms of the name, right? I can't remember who specifically gave the name, and I think none of us can remember.
None of us
I
can
think
remember.
it's either Jerry or Dan, because it can't be me and it can't be NG. So I gave a bunch of like stupid names as well. So originally we all brainstormed some ideas, put them out on a list. We read them to each other. Bad, terrible, extra bad. And at some point, somebody was like, "Hey, how about Longkang Kitties?" Everybody unanimously, that's the one. It came out of nowhere. It's like lightning in the bottle, and that's like the history ever since. Yeah.
Okay, very good branding. That one.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I mean, I really love our name so much, and it's just it kind of like perfectly encapsulates what we do. Right, we are not really meant to be an informative channel. We are not, but we do like to tackle like some serious stuff, but in a more comedic, lighthearted way. And we are a bunch of cat lovers. With the exception of NG, all of us actually have cats in our house.
Yeah.
NG has her own neighborhood cats that she looks after or whatever. But so Longkang Doggos, I think doesn't really doesn't have that.
Doesn't have that ring.
Yeah.
to it,
So Longkang Kitties is like that's the way to go.
You can do the Indon version, Longkang Anjing.
Longkang Doggos sounds a little bit too wholesome.
I mean,
Longkang Kitties, it's still wholesome, but there's like, because it's cats, probably there's a slight edge to it.
There's an edge, yeah, I agree.
It's room for mischief.
Yeah. You can tell immediately, because it's cats, so immediately you're like, okay, this is not going to be as polite as we would think.
Yeah, definitely knocking things off the table and pissing in places where we shouldn't be. So that's the scratching up furniture.
Oh, you didn't tell them about one of the first few times we met. We went to what was that bar again? Next to Hard Rock Cafe, right?
Oh, it was called Chips back then.
Chips, yeah.
So it's at the what's that?
Forum.
That building
No.
opposite Hard Rock Cafe.
Some
I
arcade,
know.
Ming's Arcade.
Yeah.
Ming's Arcade. Yeah, so that's the name of the building. So on the ground floor, there's this place called Chips, and so that was like one of our group gatherings. So it was a bunch of us, including me, Jerry, NG, Dan, and Jerry's wife.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing happened, right? So at some point, I had this throwaway line that was meant to rile everybody up. So I said, modern dance is complete garbage.
It's hilarious.
Angie just went bananas, right? She just like, no, John, here's 10 reasons why you're wrong. And the two of us started like a really intense argument. And we were so lost in our own world, right? We completely neglect what everybody else like perception of the set of events was, to the point where Jerry's wife had a panic attack. Like she was having severe anxieties watching us argue like with such intensity. And at the end of the night, we're just like, yeah, okay, let's agree to disagree. And then it's like as if none of it has ever happened. And It's one of those it's one of those things where it sounds very unbelievable, but we do have like a lot of very intense argument. But generally speaking, we do respect each other's boundaries and beliefs. We are not trying to convert or do anything. We're just kind of like presenting our points. So, I mean, that was the original idea for Longkang Kitties, but of course, it's a bit evolved since then.
Okay lah, like cats
Yeah.
Not trying to convert anybody. Just
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
this is what I do. Push stuff off the table, and then that's it.
Occasionally, you just like get into like this scratching ball of mess, but
After,
end of it, we
yeah.
lick each other. I'm not licking NG, by the way, but neither is she licking me. But metaphorically speaking, cats the bonding session and all that. So.
Yeah. I like how you took the metaphor too far before you brought it back.
That's what
that's
happens.
the Longkang Kitties.
Yeah, that's what
Longkang
happens.
Kitties,
on the
yeah.
podcast.
We always take it too far,
Yeah.
but that's fine.
But I love the analogy.
Yeah.
I like knocking stuff over. Because I'm sure you knock some issues over and then you unfold it and then put it back. But in a messy manner.
I think the episode that got the most vile response was the one with Dr. Chi, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
We did.
What
have
a surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was surprised there.
Wow.
We just have a bunch of people that were just vehemently against him, and they just So the first thing was, we are a PAP propaganda machine, which I'm just like, dude, have you listened to the rest of our episodes?
Yeah.
No, sorry, we're anti-PAP. We are WP propaganda machine. Sorry, that was one. And
Yeah.
I mean, we criticize everybody equally. We are equal opportunity haters, and I think Dr. Chi was just a good guest that NG could bring on board, and we could pick his brain about certain things. This was way before the election, by the way, and so we just wanted to get to know him better. Like he really is a very misunderstood person. If you ask like regular people on the streets what they know about him, would just be he was sent to prison, right? He was a bankrupt, and he's some sort of agitator. But I would say I disagree a lot with his politics, but I think at his heart he really is a person who's genuine about improving Singapore.
Yeah, that was my impression as well. He comes across as someone who is so idealistic to the point, back in the days when he was younger, a lot of things that he wanted to do were completely like not feasible. It's not so much he's misunderstood definitely. It's not so much he's against all the values that we have. It's more of he's so ahead of his time that no one was able to catch on.
I see.
Yeah, no, so, I can see why you got all the haters for that.
Yes, for sure.
I'm pretty sure why. Yeah. So Lost in Malaysia say that it's quite ironic that you guys were born by fighting.
Well, you know the Chinese saying, right? The 不打不相识, right?
Yeah.
Right?
What's the
So,
translation?
translation is if you don't fight, you don't know each other well,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
It's like you only really get to know a person after something as intense as like a bout of some like conflict.
Yeah.
And
Arguing about modern dance lah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like if Wayne and I had gone into an argument, I'm like, no, Pontiana is stronger than Dracula. He's like, no, Dracula is older than Pontiana. I'm like, yeah, we agree to disagree lah.
Wait, Chok, sorry,
Oh,
hang on.
damn.
No, hang on. Whoa. Which position are you taking in this vampires versus Pontiana?
Oh,
argument?
definitely Pontiana lah.
Okay lah, then we're at least still on the same page on that one.
No,
lah.
it's an analogy.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I like my legs went cross. I got like, super serious. Like what? Whoa, what?
Gotta bring your Southeast Asian pride, yo.
Yeah, if you had taken the other side of this argument, right, I would be wondering why exactly I'm wearing the t-shirt that literally says Southeast Asian horror stories.
Yeah.
So yeah, this like just terrible branding right there. Okay, are y'all okay with talking about where y'all record the episodes?
yeah, sure. I
Okay.
mean, we just name the generic place.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if
yeah.
Dan Wong's office. I mean, we won't share the location.
Yeah,
of course,
Yeah,
but
definitely not.
No, not after what you just told us
No,
about the Dr. Chi episode. No, but like, okay, you don't have to tell me where it is, but how creepy is the area? Have y'all experienced anything?
Okay, so
While
I
recording?
think the first place that we we
Yeah.
have since recorded in two places.
Yeah.
So both are in
Yeah.
Dan Wong's office, but the first one was, we can say it now, right? I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
at the Pearl Hill
Terrace.
Pearl Hill Terrace.
Yeah.
So it's that old colonial building.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
I
there,
think there was the was it the police barracks or army barracks? I can't remember. Police barracks,
Police,
right?
police,
yeah.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
for officers and their families.
It's like their
and whatever.
apartments and shit, right?
So first of all, that place doesn't have any elevators, and it's all uphill.
Oh, that's frightening.
Yeah, it's and so that in itself is
That's the horror story.
Yeah,
right?
that's the horror story.
Walking.
well. If you go up like the front entrance, right, from what is it, the People's Park complex, right at the top of the stairs, if you look to your left, there's a fish tank.
Yeah.
This is out in the open, but this is like the road. You're literally standing on like asphalt. There's like car park, I think, to the right, and then right to your left, there's a fish tank. I think there's a fish in it.
There's
a live fish.
huge fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fish.
Yes.
A fish.
Yeah.
A huge fish.
So imagine just seeing this at night, right? Like you're just walking and there's a fish.
That's level 1, right? That's level
That's
1.
level. That's
Ground,
just no.
yeah.
That's outside.
Yeah. Outside.
That's
Not even
outside.
inside.
No,
Well,
but
yeah.
because you go all the way up the slope, right?
Yeah.
There's a slope. I remember that place. There's a slope. Then on level 1, there's
The stairs. Up the stairs.
the stairs.
So the hill goes up the stairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Then there's that road. There's that road.
The
where
asphalt
car-
lah.
Yeah.
Is that
Correct.
is that
Yeah.
asphalt?
Then it's on the asphalt.
Yes.
In
Yes.
the middle.
No, like off to the side.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
It's-
fish is it?
I don't know. I mean,
No, I mean to set the context.
I do love that that's your priority. Yeah.
I'm not sticking my hand in to find out.
it's probably like a Asian aquatica. I don't know.
Yeah, we have no
Okay,
idea.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lost in Malaysia say colonial buildings are super suspicious, man.
Yeah, it definitely is very suspicious.
It
Oh, also, so at the there's like a central staircase, and then there's 2 staircases to the left and right. The staircase to the left, there's always a Buddha statue there. I think they are trying to get rid of it, but then it's just been there perpetually. Seeing it at night, right, also just creeps me the hell out. Like just so.
So wait,
Buddha, what? Quite
at
peaceful.
night, what time?
I think we recorded till pretty late.
Yeah, sometimes
times.
like 11,
Yeah.
you know, and thereabouts 10, 11 p.m. that kind of things.
Are you sure that they were getting rid of the Buddha, or the Buddha
Uh,
was there for a reason?
First of all, it's not like specifically Buddha. It's like I don't even know what.
Yeah, I
it is.
don't
It's
even know
just
what it
it's just a statue that have some
Buddhist looking.
Buddhist,
Yeah.
but it's not like specifically of Buddha. I have no idea what on earth is it, but
Yeah.
it definitely looks creepy as hell.
I'll say I don't actually remember the statue. I remember there's a statue, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably you got brainwashed.
Slight tangent. When I was still studying film, then I went to this place to actually film some creepy visuals. That's like pre-HANTU days, pre-Ghost Maps days. You can see where my origins come from. So I went to this quarry. It's in Tampines Quarry. So it's like it's just behind Burek Reservoir. So it used to be a quarry, but now it's like kind of like a lake, right? So surrounding the quarry is like the forest, and it's like super heavily dense forest. So there's this section within the forest. There's like tons of statues, like tons. I'm talking about like at least a good 100.
What? Just in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, it's creepy. I went in, I was like, and I was so glad that I brought my 80s friend. Who said 80s is like, there's no such thing, no such thing. Then I was like, you can feel even in the afternoon, you're like, oh, it's quite creepy. Like so many. Why people congregate them there?
Oh.
There must be a reason.
Oh, yeah, I think I know the reason for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So back in the day when I was still working full time for someone else, down at the Chimbi Crescent, so it's like a road. It's like just factories after factories, right?
Yeah.
Mainly it's food and
Yeah.
manufacturing and whatever. So there was a statue that was left just at the side of the road. So I'm very curious lah. Like, first of all, why is it there and why was there an altar built around it? So apparently, what happens is that you can't just randomly throw away, you
Yeah.
know, like Buddha and Taoist statues or
Right,
like
right.
Taoist
Yeah.
deity statues. You need to dispose of it properly through a monk and whatever.
Yeah.
There's a good reason why a lot of monks in Singapore drive BMWs and Lexus. They generally overcharge for functionally anything lah. So a simple disposal service could easily cost you, I don't know, a few $100 or whatever. And they're just like, wait a second, I'm not gonna pay this guy, pay this Lexus driving dodo like $300, right? So and I don't want to just dump it in. So what's the next best alternative? Well, I'm just gonna leave it on the side of the road. So what happens is that the factory workers like around the area, they will revere the statue, and what they will do is to build an altar on the spot where it's left behind. So where you saw it probably is a place that they know that hey, if I just dump it there, somebody's gonna take care of it. You know,
Yeah,
so
probably.
yeah, you'll see a lot lah, and like
Yeah.
all around. Chimbi is just like crazy amount of all these like random statues just dumped. Some of it will be like inside the tree, some of it on the roadside, and yeah, there'll be people taking care of it.
Yeah.
There was an area in Singapore where like a stretch of road, right? There's like makeshift. I forgot that road names. That makeshift temples. Yeah. So because like it's on the stretch road, it was quite famous. I think no more already. So they took it down or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are like proper people who like devotees. They devote their time to go and take care of the deities, which is quite interesting. So Winnie Choi, so sorry for this. She said she was just looking at Pearl Hill Rental the other day, not shortlisting the area anymore. I'm so sorry, Pearl Hill Terrace, Pearl Hill Rental.
The landlord.
Yeah, we don't mean to do it because these are ghost stories. It can be true or not true at the same time. Later we'll get into that.
The funny thing is, I was perfectly fine going to the toilet at Pearl Hill Terrace
Oh.
until NG fucking was like, make sure you look up. Could be someone peering over. Like,
Oh my.
Also, and swearing, Jerry.
language. I don't know.
Language.
NG couldn't go to the toilet at night without me as a bodyguard.
Yeah.
Like
But you're outside, what?
Yeah. I mean, I have to be outside.
Yeah, but you have outside. Then she's still.
Well, in case
susceptible.
like if she screams, I gotta like
screams,
barge in,
yeah,
right?
you
So at least there's somebody. If I'm back in the office, she screams. Nobody's there except for the Buddha statue on ground floor, lah. Only he could hear.
It'll be even worse if he actually does something.
Wait, okay, when she told you to look up, right? Was she telling you to look up to watch out for like anything supernatural or for perverts?
Supernatural for sure.
Wait.
Yeah.
So she has experience before.
I don't know. Yeah.
Then why did she say that to mess with you
We're
guys?
she probably said it to mess with us. Yeah.
But then she's the same person to say, "Hey, come with me to the toilet."
Yeah, maybe.
Man.
I don't know. Maybe she's superstitious. I don't know.
You know, I've met NG once. And just for that one meeting, right, that all makes sense. Your whole story, you're trying to understand why she would say that while also asking John to be about. It all makes sense.
Yeah, she's actually like, maybe 50% troll, 50% cat. Yeah.
So
None of that human, just draw or get.
so about the Pearl Hill Terrace, anything happened? Like
So far, I think
Nah,
yeah,
yeah.
not specifically to us.
no.
But I was thinking about stuff that happened like during recordings, or not say during recordings, like in the process of creating an episode. And so one of the things that I did come across, this is not specifically to Longkang Kitties. It was one of the so-called Longkang stories. So things that doesn't fall into specifically the category of the full episode. It was a collaboration with the Lords of Lobang. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
And it was talking about there's this like satanic group in the US called the Finders. And about 35 years after the case has been closed, right, the Freedom of Information Act dictates that the FBI needs to release certain classified documents.
Yeah.
So it was just this huge document dump, right? So to give you guys some, I'll just make it quick. To give you guys some context, the Finders was like a group of hippie commune people that, when they were first arrested, had 5 kids who were unwashed, dirty, without underwear, in a stinking van, and they only had 1 potato to eat that day. I'm not sure if it's 1 potato each or between the 5 of them. I mean, it could be either, right?
Either way, quite bad.
Yeah, correct. So when the 2 men that was with the kids was arrested, they interview the kids, and some of them have difficulty controlling their bowels. They don't recognize modern items like staplers and clocks. They can't read the time, and so eventually they were forced to let them go because they couldn't actually they don't actually have any evidence against them. So the whole thing turned into like a satanic panic thing within the US. A lot of back and forth. There were some lawsuits involved. The police tried to get involved. CIA got involved. FBI, border control, just this whole bunch of it's just a big mess, right? So eventually the case was closed. So case closed. Everyone went their own way. 35 years later, document dump. Within the document dump, okay, there was a page inside the document and it contains a hand-drawn map of the McMartin preschool underground tunnels. So for the McMartin preschool case, right, was a separate case, completely not related to Finders, in a different state altogether, where the parents of the kids who were studying there alleged that the people inside the school were bringing those kids, right, to underground lairs, basically, and doing satanic rituals, including, like sexual stuff, decapitating goats, so on and so forth. And the defense of and this lawsuit lasted 13 years. The defense of the people from the McMartin preschool was that, these kids, their testimony doesn't make any sense. They were saying that they were seeing like flying witches and they were seeing horses running around. Then they say, they even said they went underground. Well, there isn't any underground lairs here in the McMartin preschool. Yeah, please go ahead and look.
Yeah.
And they couldn't find any evidence that there was any underground passages, right? So the whole case was closed. Nobody got jail time or anything like that. And here we are, 35 years later, in the finest document, a map, a hand-drawn map of the McMartin preschool underground tunnel with annotations saying that they have discovered roughly 1,000 different artifacts, including 200 animal bones. Okay, so I'm just like, whoa, what? This is some funky stuff going on, man. I had to look into it more, and the more I look into it, right, the more I felt like real life horror doesn't hold a candle to the ghost stories that we tell ourselves, right? So the ghost stories, you can kind of brush it off as not true and whatever. But this is something that kind of chilled me to my core, and the horror that I felt knowing that such people exist, and they would bring kids to underground to do satanic stuff and all sort of, and at some point, and the coincidentals, like things that become coincidental, right? The amount of it just mounts up, like it just keeps going up and up and up. And there were names that repeat, and there were incidents that repeat, and at some point I was just like, okay, I have to stop. Like this is just too creepy.
So you
for
went
me.
down the rabbit hole.
I love how Jerry's laughing at this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I agree as well. Like, I mean, we talk about like how like ghost story, even for both of us, so it's not a case of like the ghost. I mean, yes, it would be nice if the ghost stories you tell scare people, but like for us, it's also like more of a cultural thing. Like everybody grew up with ghost stories, so it's more of part of the culture that is like for scares more than anything else. But then there's scary, and then there's what you described, which is just messed up.
Yeah, correct.
Like people doing horrible stuff is always going to be way, way more scary. Okay, in the fight between Pontianak and horrible humans win hands down.
Oh yeah, that's
hands down.
Yeah.
So vampires don't even come close.
Yeah.
It's vampires, Pontianak, and then like way on top horrible humans. They're the scariest of the lot.
Yeah.
No, but so like the current place, nothing.
Yeah, so far we haven't got anything. Touch wood, let's keep it that way. I mean, I know you guys love a good story, but man, I can't take Angie like freaking out in the middle of recording or anything.
Well, I mean, honestly, we haven't stayed that late in the office before.
Yeah, we usually record in the afternoon. Yeah, so plenty of noises, plenty of human activity.
Very good idea.
I love how hang on. I love how in the current place, which is less creepy than the purple. Y'all do it in the afternoon. The creepy place, y'all okay do it at night lah.
Our priorities aren't there. Maybe we were chasing dragons to slay as well. Who knows such things, right?
Okay, look for dragon found fish only.
Yeah, found the fish. Yeah.
So Lost in Malaysia asks, is there going to be a guest for every episode from now on? Because of COVID, not sure if Singapore can do that. Yes, we can. We will have more guests and more interesting guests as we move forward. And to link back to
we're not saying y'all are less interesting.
More interesting.
There will be other interesting
I was
guests.
just
You're interesting also, don't worry.
So we will have someone to do with what he mentioned, true crime. We're gonna hint. So you'll find out in the next few weeks, and maybe also can get lots of lobangs on here.
Yeah,
they'll have like UFO conspiracy. And
well, you gotta put a shock collar on them though.
Yeah.
Every time they swear,
oh my God.
Okay, good luck with that. Carl does the editing. So,
Yeah.
you can handle all the swearing for that one.
Yeah. So like you mentioned that you're looking for dragons to slay. So what happens if you see one?
Oh man.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
What would you do? You first.
I mean, frankly speaking, I would like to imagine that I'll be like, let me have a serious philosophical discussion. But I think really what will really happen is I'll just scream and run. I'll be like, get out. And I can run pretty fast. So I don't need to be the fastest. I just need to run faster than them.
Yeah.
So that's good enough for me.
You?
I'll probably go whoa, and then the dragon will, and then like I'm disappeared. Yeah. That's probably what happened. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I love how not once your answer was, I'm going to argue the ghost.
Man,
Philosophical debate, but not argument.
If
I like how
if-
you save that for NG and the rest of the
if I
podcast.
see like 3-headed ladies floating off the ground with 6 arms and like a gaping maw in the middle of the stomach, I'm not gonna be, hey, modern dance sucks. That is not the first rational response.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
we're not 100% rational people, granted.
Yeah.
But I think if I saw that, I'm just either I'll freeze, which I hope I don't. Please legs work, brain work, or I'm gonna turn tail and run like the wind. There's no way that I'm having a conversation with that.
Yeah, no way.
So neither of y'all have encountered
Not
what
really.
you... Okay.
Really?
Not personally.
But so y'all heard ghost stories lah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like what? Okay, so what's the first ghost story that you guys heard?
The first one.
Yeah, the first one that you can remember lah, at the very least.
Man,
The ones that I remember are all from like much later, like during the army times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I think when I was in secondary school, the notion of seeing ghosts didn't really occur to me until one of my classmates said that she has the third eye or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So at that point, it was like a very novel thing. I mean, I saw Chinese ghost movies, for example, but a lot of it was very comedic, the
Yeah.
jiangshi, and then they were
Yeah.
just hopping, like the doing the bunny hop thing. So, when she told me this, right, like it kind of like opened my. I mean, I was very young lah, so it kind of opened my world to this whole thing where people do actually see ghosts. My mom can't remember this, but I because I was speaking to my mom this morning and I was trying to confirm with her, like, did my cousin see ghosts? She doesn't remember, but I think she did, because one of the things that happened to her in the past was she fainted a lot. Now it could be because of diet and so on and so forth, or health. I mean, her health was okay; it wasn't terrible and things like that. But she fainted a lot, and I think my aunt brought her to see the medium, and they were suggesting that she either her third eye is opening or there's something haunting her. And I think subsequently she actually stopped fainting after seeing the medium. Yeah. So I mean, it could be a big coincidence, but as a person who went through the finals document, looking at coincidence after coincidence, right? I'm just okay. At some point, we have to make room for belief, lah. Let's put it that way, right? So that was kind of my first like the earliest memory of like ghostly encounters. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but honestly, like, I haven't had many told to me in secondary school, but I grew up in the era where we had the true Singapore ghost stories.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, Wayne is around my age, he'll remember. Right, so, yeah, rub it in, sorry.
Nobody's gonna believe that, actually. Nobody's gonna believe we're around the same age.
Yeah. So that was like, throughout your secondary school, primary school and secondary school, that's like the thing that you always read.
Yeah.
And you don't think of it so much as a teenager, but when you look back at those books as adults, it's just ridiculous. The stories are so ridiculous.
Some of it is laughably painful.
Yeah, like
yeah.
every issue has like a version of The Last Bus,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Every
Like, to the point in time, I still remember, like, not to step on your toes or anything, but like I remember like one of the stories I heard in secondary school was basically a version of that.
Right,
But
right,
it was like
right.
The Last Taxi. So Like it's like the long story short is the taxi driver with no face. Then he turns around, like, you saw somebody with no face, like this
Yeah.
Then he turns around to the passenger. It's always the last something.
Yeah, it's always last something.
You said army ghost stories.
I mean, ghost stories. There are a few. My own personal encounter. There was this one time, but it's actually not in Singapore when I was in Canada,
Okay.
and this was like one of those sleep paralysis things.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It happens.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I was it was like year 3 or year 4, and it was just crunch, non-stop working, not enough sleep. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Finally, I'm gonna lie down. I close my door. My roommate has a cat. Right? My housemate has a cat, so I close my door so the cat doesn't come in. I put my blanket up and I went to sleep. And then, just as I laid down, right, I put the blanket over my eyes, and I'm like, is that the cat walking on me? So I felt something walking on me, and then I cannot move, right? I can't move, having difficulty breathing. But I also acknowledge, I'm clear-headed enough to acknowledge that I haven't been sleeping a lot. This might be me just fell asleep and woke up and not knowing the time.
Yeah.
And I remember one of my friends had it in the army camp, and he's like, oh, he's religious, so he said a prayer, and then the spirit left him. And for me, it's like, no, I'm not gonna say a prayer. So I cursed out. Not gonna say the curse, but I cursed out the typical Hokkien curse you guys hear in Singapore, right?
It ends with bye.
Yes, ends with bye.
Wait, so you used the typical Hokkien curse?
Yes, and then I started
Canada.
kicking, in Canada, and I started kicking, and then I felt the thing lifted off me, and after that I'm like, I still don't believe it's like some spirits or anything. It just felt like me being really tired, and suddenly I couldn't figure out whether I'm sleeping or not, and it just happened.
Did the spirit say, sorry mate, before you left?
No.
That's another country.
Yeah.
So how old were you when that happened?
It's 27, 28. Yeah.
So Canada, which part of Canada?
I was around Toronto.
Huh.
Yeah.
Strange. But like over that part of the world, I think like all these things actually quite common. I mean, not saying that it's not common in Singapore, but usually in Southeast Asia, like, at least you will see things like woman on a bench, then long hair, stand at one corner, appear in the photo, like third hand come out of the photo.
Basically not shy.
Yeah. Not shy one. We Asians not shy one.
Okay.
But in America, they mess with you in the sleep.
I guess.
So
I
wait,
don't know.
so your theory is that Western ghosts are passive aggressive?
Pretty much.
Maybe.
Maybe not enough power. Too many already. Right.
But they do have a lot of those old houses.
Yeah. The vibes lah. I
Yeah.
guess the vibes is but that's interesting because you have an actual personal experience. I wouldn't say I'm not going to debunk it, but I
We'll
can
leave that
say
to
that
John.
there is
we'll
we leave it to you, John. I can say that there is scientific proof. Like only like this year I got the same thing. I got the same thing. Like my entire right arm couldn't move, but I can open my eyes. The first thing that I did, I opened my eyes. I said, if there's some shit, right, I want to see it. Then I open my eyes. Nothing.
Nothing.
I cannot move. Then after that, I just use a lot of strength and the arm come up.
Yeah. So I just basically swear, and then I started kicking, and I managed to get out of it.
When in doubt, swear.
Yeah, swear.
I'm quite.
But close your eyes lah when you swear.
Yeah, I'm quite sure that debunks it right there lah. Because if you were swearing to chase off anything, right?
Yeah.
And then you swear in Hokkien, right? If anything, it's not gonna move. You just gotta sit down and go, what?
No, but it's not about the swear. It's about the expression.
Yeah.
Like, no, this guy's pissed. Oh,
I know,
I'm
but
leaving.
like, okay, if you yelled out like, if you're in Canada and you yelled out like, I'm not gonna say any
Yeah,
swear words lah, but if you like yelled out an English speaking swear word like, and since it's Canada, like "a" or something like that, sorry Canadian viewers, but
You would think that the spirit will be quite.
yeah,
quite
no,
polite.
at least then,
Sorry.
but at least then they realize, oh, okay lah, he's swearing at me. But like, you yell out the Hokkien swear word.
No, but that's the thing also. That's a secret swear word I keep for myself when I was in Canada. So if I say something and I say with a smile, hopefully people won't understand I'm cursing.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
I like how you saved it for sleep paralysis
Yeah, I
or
did,
possibly a demon.
Oh, possibly even.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's quite interesting. So let's get into some of the comments. Lost in Malaysia said Longkang Kitties bonus. I don't know what you meant by that, but we'll be releasing this episode probably full length.
Yeah.
After we cut out the
I mean,
vulgarity.
yeah. I mean, if
Not so much, right?
no lah,
I got the three so
We're
far.
just joking.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but like
depending on your severity of,
Oh, yeah.
swear words, I suppose it
Yeah.
could be 3 or maybe just the one classic one from Jerry.
Yeah.
WSA said, what does WSA mean, by the way? Just let us know. Supernatural guest, please. Oh, hell no. Not
I think what they mean is like people who deal with the supernatural, not like an actual like.
I don't think that's what he meant.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he meant. I think
He
it's
would have
straight
said
up-
like people who dealt with it,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
medium.
Or like specific people. I think he or she is messing with us.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then yeah, I agree. Hell no.
Dude, you don't know where we're recording, man. This place is pretty creepy.
So this lost because the first episode we kind of hinted like this place is one of the more infamous places in Singapore. So he or she said that I thought you said you don't want to talk about Miss P in your office because
It's like the swearing. Sometimes you
sometimes you just cannot help it and then you just say I'm sorry Miss P.
wait.
Yeah.
I do like Lost in Malaysia's one comment down there. I don't know how much of this you want to say or want to not say because I don't even know about Miss P.
Oh
You're
no,
not
no.
supposed to say.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
it like Lost in Malaysia said Jiangshi versus Pocong. And you know what's Pocong, right? Battle of the Century.
That
Pocong
was-
is they're in the
Shroud.
shroud, the
the
funeral
burial,
Oh, okay.
burial,
Burial
shroud,
shroud.
And then
yeah.
you jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my army story.
So hopping vampire versus Pocong lah. That's the battle of the century.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm glad people are swearing in the comments
Oh,
so that
thanks.
we don't have to.
So you help us swear lah. So John, do you have any personal experience?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, let's bring it on.
So this was in the army. The army camp that I went to was Amokui. I mean the name itself, right? Amokui, right? So
For our friends who don't know, I mean our non-Southeast Asian friends, Amokui means that Angmo is white person, Kui is ghost in
Yeah.
Hokkien, so Amokui is
and that's the
white
name
ghost.
of the camp. Like it's
Yeah,
literally
that's
unapologetically Amokui.
It's
camp.
actually
Yeah.
Amoy.
Yeah, it's
Amoy
Amoy,
Kui.
but like it's
Yeah, but we
it's
all
more
say
fun to say
yeah,
it.
we all say Amokui.
Okay, please.
So this was during BMT, a basic military training, and there was this other fellow with me. So he's a Malay guy. He was in my detachment, and because I was in artillery, so we call ourselves detachments. So one night he did ask me whether I want to go training, and I was happy to agree because I wanted to get silver for IPPT at least, right? And so we went for a run, and Amokui is it's a fairly deserted camp right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, back in his heyday, it's probably like a lot of people. So there used to be 6th Division Infantry, 20 SA, and the ADA, so the Air Defense Artillery. So ADA is completely moved out. So that whole section is just completely empty. 6th Division was still there, but it's just the 2 units, right?
Yeah.
But it's huge, and there's a huge like a grass patch for the artillery to move around,
Yep.
and whatever. So just as we were jogging to basically the most deserted part of the whole camp, there's only an ammo dump, and this is like the furthest away you can get from the humans, the nearest human contact. My friend was just like, John, stop. And the way that he said it, right, like this guy is not prone to dramatics. This is a Malay fellow. He's always this very calm, collected guy, And
Right.
So the way that he said it made me really stop. And then he immediately said, "Don't look behind." And when he said that, the hairs on my back just like stood up. I'm just like, oh, and I'm still pretty young in NS days, right? I was 19 years old, and he was just like, "Okay, just slowly walk. I'm like, bro, what's going on? He said, just slowly walk. And so we were walking. Like, hey, bro, how? Then suddenly, run! And then he just fucking bolted. Sorry.
It's okay.
But he just bolted, right? And I'm just like, what? And I bolted with him. Okay? And so we were sprinting. This is the best IPPT training, by the way. Okay?
Yeah, personal best, right?
Personal best. And so of course the immediate reaction was, wait, is this guy pranking me? But when he went back to camp, like he wasn't making fun of me, and he was genuinely horrified. Like this guy was afraid. And he did say that he had a propensity to see things. I'm gonna believe him. Like, I'm not gonna take any chance. So there's 2 types of mistake, right? There's the type type 1 mistake and type 2 mistake. So type 1 mistake is, I'll start with type 2. Type 2 is you see movement in the bush and you think it's not a lion, right? So that's type 2 mistake. Well, if you make a type 2 mistake, you're going to die. So a type 1 mistake is you see a movement in the bush, you think it's a lion. If you make a type 1 mistake, you're not going to die because you think there's a lion, right? So you're going to... I'm making the type 1 mistake all the time. So I'm not... Like, I believe him. I'm just a bit like, man, why you voted without me, bro? Like, that's the only gripe I have, but he might have saved my life. I'm going to thank him right now. Shout out to Hafiz. Yeah.
Yeah. So after what? I mean, he saw something, right?
Yeah.
Did he say what did he see?
He didn't want to talk about it. Like he briefly mentioned it, and I did say something about it, but subsequently, right, like he didn't want to talk about it.
But he didn't tell you what he saw.
He didn't tell me what. So according to him, because we were wearing PT, right, so the physical training outfit, singlets and shorts, so that could have been the contributing factor. Because normally when you go guard duty, everything you have the crest, right? You wear the beret, the crest that's been blessed by the religious leaders. So that might have like helped him ward it off or whatever. So like during I did prowling with him before, everything was fine. It's just that when we were in PT uniform, it's like, man, things got out of hand.
Yeah, I've been to Amakui camp before, and I know what you're talking about.
So it's like a little bit past the PT field depot, and then if you go like up the road, right? So there's the ammo dump. Off in front. That place is...
It's the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's the middle of nowhere.
It's always the ammo dump, right,
but
guys?
that's the thing. Like the rest. Okay, I don't know when this was. Like what year this was, but
like 2004. I think.
Okay lah. Then yeah. Because I was doing reservist. I swear I'm not gonna turn this into like a army story thing. But like, you know, I was doing reservist on that, and then go to that place, right? And most of the barracks were
Abandoned.
completely abandoned.
Yeah.
Abandoned.
Completely abandoned.
Yeah.
And you know, you have like the more brave guys going like, oh, I'm gonna take a shower, then they come down, basket, the shower not working. And that was their horror story. Then the rest of us are like, I'm not going up there, you mad or what? But yeah, like even the places that are closer to human contact are already so bloody creepy.
Yeah,
I know the ammo dump you're talking about, and that place is like in the middle of bloody nowhere.
Yeah.
No way, man. I would not willingly go jogging down there.
Yeah.
I mean, we just entered the camp not that long ago, like just a couple of, and this was the first time. Like normally we would do our jogs in like the early evening, so just a little bit after dinner, and but I don't know why in this particular case we went quite late at night. But you know, it is what it is, lah.
Yeah. So then did you like actually talk to like your PC or your commanders?
No. I didn't. I mean, what am I going to tell? I didn't see anything personally.
But he saw some. Like, I mean, like
but
you
he doesn't
experienced
want-
it, what?
Yeah, correct. But he doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Then
So-
your bunkmates, do they know about it?
Some of them do, not
Okay.
all. Because back then he was in my detachment, so like the six or seven of us we know. He talked to some of the other Malay guys, and I think a few of the other people know, but not everybody. So it wasn't like it wasn't like spread throughout the whole thing. So I think it didn't reach the attention of our commanders as well.
Yeah.
Were there like any like other similar stories like, hey, don't go to that section in the camp?
I think there was some stories here and there lah. Mainly is to deal with the prowlers as well. So when they do guard duty, and so when we ran, it was in the opposite direction of the prowlers. So the prowlers, they have to go in that direction. We ran in this direction.
Right.
So they mentioned something. There's actually one guy I remember. He's like famously known, right, for not wanting to do prowler duty, which I'm perfectly okay with because I actually don't want to do the sentry. So sentry sucks, right? And he's always willing to do the sentry. So okay lah, I'll do the prowler. It's fine. I'd rather be walking than just standing in one place all the time. So he just famously doesn't want to do prowling because he says he sees things as well. But I don't believe that guy. I think he's just trying to get out.
It's a very convenient excuse.
Yeah.
You go to the ammo, excuse ghosts. Might as well don't go camp because they're everywhere. Yeah, so let's get into some of the comments. So Lost in Malaysia, he says that as a Malay male, most of the Malay fellas' reasons is same as him because some of them they have some sort of third eye. And I believe like from what we understand of religion as a whole, when you are very spiritually very strong, evil forces tend to want to test They want to test that power. And I think
Don't
I read
test it with me around. Damn.
when you're most vulnerable when you like just got baptized or blessed, right? Like you just join a religion, they will test you like really strongly, like the evil forces will test you. So I guess that's one of the reasons, huh? And hi Dennis, Eric or San from Philippines. Yeah, Mabuhay. So when someone says don't look or do something, it makes people just want to do that exactly.
I really wanted to turn around and look. I mean, that was the first thing on my mind, but the way that, like I said, the way that he said it, right?
He saved you, bro. He saved you.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I mean, he did speak with the right amount of authority to make me not question him.
Yeah.
It's the complete opposite of, I can't remember whether I told the story the last time, but like a friend's ex-girlfriend, we were once like, I can't remember, did I tell the story about seeing the thing outside?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
we can say it like
I mean,
our other partner.
Yeah. No, but like the whole point of the story was that friend's girlfriend saw something outside and did the complete opposite. It was not don't turn around. What she said while pointing to the thing was going, "What's that? Hey B, what's that?"
Yeah.
And then everybody else was going, "Hey, shut up lah."
Yeah, just yeah.
You're not you don't want to see it and she's pointing.
Yeah.
I think even the hantu was like mampos lah. This one stupid sia. Yeah. So they are saying hantu sense is tingling. Hantu man. Sees whatever a hantu can. So Gondolas is asking whether if you can share the location of this studio. I'm just gonna say this. It's a very famous place in Singapore known for Thai people. Okay? So you go and figure it out yourself.
I think you like just narrow it down to
Like
places.
no, but there's a lot of places. Right?
So Esplanade.
Yeah. The Thai embassy.
Well, I mean technically
that's true.
That is correct lah.
So yeah. I've always like, okay, so you guys are into like conspiracy theory. I've always felt that as a Singaporean man, I think the military, they know of all these presents. They know. Like, it's just that I can understand where they're coming from. You cannot acknowledge this kind of thing, right? And then everybody's like, oh, like, yeah, because you are trying to train soldiers. You're not trying to train like a bunch of
Ghost hunters.
Interesting though. Like during my BMT also, like my own section, we don't experience anything because we're all, my buddy and I are both atheists, and I still keep in touch with him. So then the rest of the guys, the second bunk, section 2, one of the guys, I think his name is Kenny. He claims he can see things and feel things. He says some nights he'll just wake up in like cold sweat because he felt a presence in the room. And the worst thing is, back then we had single deck beds. And he had like an empty bed next to him because that guy out of course, like 2 days out of course, right? So the empty bed was beside him, and then the first time he reported it to the platoon sergeant came down and slept in that bed. Right? It's like
garang.
Yeah. Then in the morning, right, before breakfast, right, he said, "See, nothing on. I told you nothing on." But he still continued feeling the presence, and then the encik, right, the CSM, right, brought all of them, the whole bunk, whoever want to come along, please come along. There's a altar somewhere in Tekong Camp 1 where, if you see something, you go and pray. So, and the encik was Indian. And he's like, don't care whether you Hindu, Muslim, whatever, can pray on, pray already, very good. I don't know whether it got rid of the sense, the sense of feeling that someone is next to him, but after that, this dude just stopped.
Going back to your conspiracy theory, it could be that this encik, right, like got information from up top. He doesn't know it precisely, but the Singapore government already found a way, probably thanks to Shanmugam, found a way to counter.
Thanks, we're gonna cut that out.
They probably found a way, right, to counter all this like spiritual interference, right? So
no, but like I think I'm neutral, but I think the government is trying to be quite balanced about it. They can't be like, oh, I believe, right? And they also can't be like, I don't protect my soldiers. Yeah, there has to be a line, right? Like that line then is usually
So that's why
somebody
they
get
build
possessed lah.
They build
Yeah,
a religious altar that all religions can pray to.
Yeah.
Secular, what? Yeah.
Yeah, then
I'm sorry, I still can't get this image of Shanmugam in Ghostbusters outfit, wearing the overalls.
whatever problems you think we have, right? Shanmugam was on it 6 months ago, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So yeah, I believe that they know that this kind of thing exists. That's why the crest is blessed and all. But they can't like, oh, we have to stop just because of that, right? Right.
Yeah, of course,
And
of course.
or maybe this is even more tinfoil hat, or maybe there's an agreement that has already been set. Like, look.
that's why the PAP is always in power.
Oh my god!
Wait, what's the
Wait, are you guys hoping to get sponsored by MDA or?
well, not anymore.
Thanks to you.
If we weren't, certainly not now.
Sorry, guys. But
I mean, if you guys can't tell that it was a joke, but yeah, it was a joke, right?
yeah.
So yeah, I do believe that it comes to a certain point where there's a balance. So I've been listening to this Taiwanese horror show. So there's this guy who used to be an ex-general or something. Then he talks about like how the Taiwanese army they handle this kind of thing, because mountains and stuff it's quite spiritual lah, like the Aborigines people. So every year apparently a certain amount of people will be taken away by die. So the spirits will take them, so as a replacement, so they can reincarnate. And it's like super common, like, oh, someone drowned today, yeah, this is the replacement for this year. That guy sway lah.
Wait. So the like it's not like a conscious sacrifice lah, but they
No,
just assume
it's
that,
random one. It's random.
Okay.
So like this guy sway lah, then go like hang himself or something. Apparently it's the spirit that drove him to do it. And Taiwanese people, they are quite, not say religious, they believe in this kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, they have heavily invested into
Yeah.
like spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes sense what you. I mean, I don't want to speculate too heavily, but even like the United States government has been. It's well documented that they have known things about, like, for example, the UFOs and all these sort of things, right? And they do conduct experiments on the occult and the esoteric. Yeah, I won't be surprised if, like, behind the scenes, right, the balance of power, between the elites in the world could be done with some supernatural help. I really wouldn't be surprised. Like, if let's say we just bust the Bilderberg meetings wide open, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just it's just like 12 spirits sitting at the head of the and it's just Mozart and Churchill, Mussolini, they're all working together, and behind the spiritual curtains they're just like pulling the strings. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah.
It's damn
that's
specific.
super specific tinfoil theory, but
No, like the theory is one thing, but the specific spirits that you
the
picked,
specific people that you pick.
I go in deep.
Like- Okay, the Churchill, Mussolini, Mozart all got thrown in there. All like, what did he do to you? Why
Well,
he got thrown in this?
Classical music.
If you notice, right, our music is getting progressively worse.
Wow.
Year on year, the pop music and so on and so forth. You need a really talented music writer to write terrible music that everybody still want to listen to.
That's interesting.
Ah.
To make the bads, you need to be goods. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, I like my favorite so far. My favorite. Question.
So they are asking, as usual, get our narrator on. If not, they will summon the Orang Minyak to get us. I would love to see the Orang Minyak, bro. Like, if you get like Orang Minyak, right, then it's so oily,
Wait,
right?
wait,
We will
wait.
solve the diesel problem.
Yeah.
Not
America
with us
will
here.
invade our
Whoa! I mean, okay lah. If you're gonna be here for any like creature or what to show up, the Orang Minyak is, in terms of scariness.
Wait, isn't he the?
It's oily man. Oily
Wait,
man.
yeah,
oily
no,
man,
but
right.
isn't he the pervert as well? Like, he's kind of
Yeah,
rapey, right?
he
He's always in the toilet.
Yeah.
Not kinda. It's like he's a full-on rapey.
Yeah.
Full-on
Wait, I don't be here for that. What the shit?
No, like you catch him and then you just extract oil of him.
he's-
Unlimited source of oil.
How are you gonna catch
Wait,
him?
he's supposed to be specifically impossible to catch because of
Yeah.
how oily.
No,
he is.
there is a way to catch him. There is a way. I remember reading about it. Like, you have to use some ritual lah. Then you can catch him.
Wait,
so if
did-
you catch
did
him,
the
you
PAP
harvest him.
supply
lah.
you with this information?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
Hey, you bloody WP propaganda arm, you.
You know who will show up for your podcast if you have a HANTU detect?
Oh.
Dan.
Wait, so we need to summon a hantu tete just to get him to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We're quite happy to do you all, so it's alright.
Are we challenging the Oramia? No lah, it's all jokes and funs lah. Please don't send it to us. If it is.
At least not while we are here.
Yeah, why would we even want to challenge any of these things?
We made it very clear we don't challenge this
Yeah,
kind of
no,
spirit.
it's okay.
Yeah. But it is an interesting theory, right? Like if these spirits, they can create resources that human wants out of thin air, that is like indefinite source of resource, right? So let's say a spirit can like orang electric, like he can generate electric. Wow, I tell you, Elon Musk will jeez, man.
Why not just get an orang Marlboro or something?
Hey, you don't say that. Maybe there is some spirit that is related to that, right?
Orang Mabro.
Never say never, bro.
Mabro, if you want to sponsor our podcast, you heard it here first, okay?
Yeah. So yeah, I what's the next question?
Oh my god, we got lost down on the Oramia. Yeah, so do you have favorite horror movies or novels or comics?
I actually wrote like a few of each.
Okay, good, because Jerry just shook his head right now.
I love Junji Ito's work.
Oh, that
But-
definitely
Yeah,
counts.
but that's very. I mean, if you talk about horror manga, that's like, how do you put it? It's like vanilla. You know, it's not. It doesn't even go into the layers. That's like, oh, everyone knows him. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, like,
Yeah, but I have one Junji Ito one over here also.
but Junji Ito, okay, yes, it's not like messed up or anything, but it's still
I mean, it's pretty
fantastic.
me-
It's pretty messed
messed
up,
up.
but
Yeah.
it's not like it's
not-
supernatural messed up. You
Yeah.
know, it's not. You know.
So
Yeah.
the type of horror that I specifically like, it's more what I would call existential horror.
Oh.
So the type of stuff that I selected also kind of reflects that lah. So the first one regarding horror movie is The Descent. So that's the one with the cave diving one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
They did make a part 2, but I'm fairly certain. I haven't watched it. I haven't read any reviews, but I'm almost certain that it sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
I watched the first one, then I didn't know there was
There's
a part
no-
2 until like much later.
Yeah, there's no reason to make a part 2 for that movie. Absolutely. And apparently, right, for that movie, there was a UK ending and a US ending.
Really.
Yeah, so the UK ending is probably what you and I watched, which is
Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert.
I mean, it's been out for a while, lah. So
Yeah, only like 17 years.
Yeah.
So the UK version is the one where she was back in the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the US version, she's in the car and then she sees like some hallucination next to her, like some bloody, like one of the characters all bloodied, and she screams and that's it. Which I think that sounds just awful lah. The UK version
Yeah.
definitely is the superior one.
Yeah, I definitely saw the UK version then.
Yeah. And then I was struggling to think, right. I know the title, I know the movie in my mind, and I was struggling to find the answers. And then it was Carl who actually gave it to me because I watched your first Dead Air on
right.
on the Facebook. And you said Shutter, the Thai version. I'm like, yes, that's the one, and that's the guy with with the girl on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Man, that movie creeped me the hell out.
Yeah?
That movie was, I mean, one of the great Thai movies lah. I
Yeah,
mean, let's
one of
just
the
put it
greatest
one,
put it
yeah.
hands down. Yeah. For novel, one of my favorites is The King in Yellow.
Who's the author for that one?
Ah shit.
I also can't remember, but
Yeah, anyways-
the only reason I found out about it was because of True Detective.
Oh yeah.
Robert
correct.
W. Chambers.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, correct. That's
yeah.
him. Yeah. So basically, it's about a book that if you read it, you will go insane. And the way that the book is structured is that you're supposed to be one of the guys who read the book and eventually become insane. The overall ending of it is very weird, and a lot of people don't get it. Personally, to me that's not how I would do it as well.
Yeah.
But some of the stories inside are really, really creepy. The first one is the best, The Repair of Reputations. The other book that I really like, Rats in the Walls. So that's a H.P. Lovecraft classic.
Oh yeah.
So that one is about this guy, he's actually from a family of slave-owning cannibals. So he has this his family actually dug up an underground city to keep slaves inside, and the slave eventually regressed into like a quadriplegic state. But then one member of the family left it all behind, burned down the whole place, but left the slaves in there, who were eventually eaten by rats.
Yeah.
So when the main character, he's like a descendant, he went back to the castle. He started hearing rats in the wall, and then he wanted to investigate and put together an expedition, went down there, and he attacked one of the other guys with the expedition and started to eat him. But in his mind, he didn't do any of that. He still thinks that it was the rats in the wall.
Yeah.
And the last one, so this one is going to take a while to explain, is Mother Horse Eyes. So Mother Horse
That's
Eyes,
gonna take a while.
yeah. So Mother Horse Eyes is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most creative way of publishing a book that I've ever seen. So what happens is, as you scroll through Reddit, like you go through the various Reddit and subreddits, right? As you're reading about Taylor Swift or whatever, suddenly this guy will come in with a comment. Oh, so they were injecting a bunch of kids with mutated form of LSD in order to do something, right? So this is like one of the comments. So people started to become curious, like, what on earth are all these comments? This is insane, right? I mean, this is like a crazy rambling. And then when they clicked on this guy's profile, which is, I think it's M9H9E9, so that's like, it's supposed to be stands for Mother Horse Eyes.
Yeah.
They arranged the collection of all the comments that he made, and it's actually a novel.
Oh.
So he's been injecting portions of his novel within, like, buried within, like, Reddit. So as though he's trying to smuggle information out of some like secret lab and so the Mother Horse Eyes is specifically is body horror. It's also a bit of existential horror. So Mother Horse Eye itself is a character. It's like with a horse head and horse leg and one cat paw for a leg. Like it's really weird, and if you can't kill it, it's always regenerating and it's always giving kids drugs and so and so. I mean, it sounds really wacky now, but
it's a creepypasta.
Yeah, it's a creepypasta.
I'm reading about it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's really like fantastic, and the stories itself are actually really quite scary.
Yeah, the delivery lah, I think.
Yeah, correct.
Actually, a lot of creepypasta stories are quite crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. I mean, the SCP, back then it used to be /X on 4chan and.
Yeah, 4chan.
Yeah, so back then it was, I think, a little bit better. Now SCP is like a bit too commercialized in my opinion.
Yeah.
When was Mother Horse Eye, the whole thing? When did that happen?
Man, I don't know. It could be like 2010s thereabouts. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a long time ago. It's a long time ago.
2016.
Or 2016.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago,
It's
actually.
not that long.
Huh.
Okay.
So with regards to horror manga or comic, would be Uzumaki. So that's the Junji Ito one.
The spiral one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the first Junji Ito. Well, I started with the movie. That's the first time I encountered it.
Which one?
They made a Japanese live action.
Yeah, the live action
The
Uzumaki.
Tomie.
Yeah.
Oh, Uzumaki, not Tomie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Uzumaki is I mean the whole thing is it's really really clever. I think the story gets really wacky. Sometimes it's laughable rather than horrific. But I think the overall themes of it, like how simplistic it is, basically crafting an entire horror genre out of something so simple as a spiral. But when you think about it, the spiral you can draw it in one of two ways, right? So the first way is to start from the center and you draw outwards, and that's more or less symbolic of like some sort of progress, and you're going outwards, you're growing.
Yeah.
But then there's the other way of drawing a spiral, which is you start from outwards and you're descending somewhere, and then you theoretically can go on forever, and that's like a point of like you're going downwards and you're descending, and into madness, into something else. And I think with Uzumaki, it really highlights the importance of preserving your humanity in the face of abject horror. I think that's why we root for the main characters. Like you start seeing people eat each other after they turn into snails, and they do all sorts of horrific things to each other. But the two main characters, they stuck together and they preserve their humanity no matter what. I think that's the important lesson that I took away from that. Special mention, I don't know if this is purely horror, but Berserk, the Golden Age arc, I think specifically when Griffith was about to transform into a god hand. That whole scene, like everything about the art, is just it's just pure magic. I don't think I've ever seen anything as beautiful as that. Like it's so awful in the best possible way.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much sums up like most of the, or at least most of our favorite stuff lah. Awful in the best possible way as well lah.
Yeah.
Because like Shutter, like going back to Shutter as well, like it's one of those things where these are usually my favorite kind of horror things where the villain is not necessarily the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like the monster's not the bad guy. It's the going back to the whole idea that people are way scarier than anything else. So
Yeah.
like that's the thing that I loved about Shutter as well. Like, you know, it's
Revenge.
yeah, and like when she wins, it's like it's terrible what she does to all them. But you're also like, oh, it's kind of beautiful.
There is some like vindication
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
whole thing. Like you, after a while, you get the sense that maybe justice is done.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I just thought about the Justice League name. Justice is Dark.
Oh damn!
Another Zack Snyder film. That's another wormhole that we don't want to jump into.
No, please.
No.
The film itself is horror lah, basically.
Yeah.
Did you watch Army of the, did you watch Army of the Dead?
Yeah.
I watched like the first 5 minutes, like the over the top married couple, woo, like they're just wooing every 3 seconds. Nah, I cannot take it.
I like how you didn't even get to the actual zombies. You're like, no, I can't deal with it.
No, the once like
The sequence the opening sequence.
So
Yeah.
you know after the roadhead, right?
Yeah.
The roadhead with that tank, like the jet fuel explosion.
Tissues. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, the jet fuel explosion style, you know, from the bloody
Thanks.
truck, right? That's like just insane.
Speaking about zombie films, like,
yeah.
honestly, if you're talking about zombie films, there really aren't that many good ones.
Yeah. Most of them are
Yeah.
terrible.
Most of them are terrible. I mean, Shaun of the Dead we know is good.
Yeah.
I like both the 28 days and 28
Oh,
weeks.
yeah.
Those are pretty good.
It's like straight up creepy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, the way he did it, right? Sense of emptiness. Like, if you were to compare it to Dawn of the Dead and that,
Right.
It's still different, right? Like,
Yeah.
the way he did it is so... Maybe it's because it's in England. The
Maybe.
weather's horrible.
Yeah. Maybe.
It's grey sky.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Then there's this sense of dread, right? But in America, it's different. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, yeehaw, let's go and take a shopping mall and then let's start killing each other.
Which American zombie movie you watching? Oh wait, I was going to say which American zombie land lah. Okay,
Yeah,
fair
exactly.
enough,
Yeah,
okay lah,
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very hard to make a very good zombie film.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, George A. Romero is probably one of my favorite filmmakers as well. I think he perfected it. Yeah, at a certain point. Yeah.
I always tell Carl, like, I love watching zombie movies. I know that a solid 70% of them are terrible, and that's why I love watching them, because they're so awful.
What are your thoughts on Resident Evil?
Which one?
The first one. Let's not talk about the rest.
Wait, the movie or
Yeah, the movie. Definitely the
I
movie.
mean, the game is amazing lah, but I mean, the first three games was pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Resident Evil 2 was the best.
Yeah, definitely.
But the movie was.
I think it was.
It's a safe space.
I think
Yeah.
the first one gave it a bit like a novel sense, like
Yeah.
a novel
Yeah.
feeling, and
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like the most awful thing ever, but the subsequent one. Which one was it where they had the laser? That's 2, right? The laser.
One.
That
One.
literally
That's
could have been.
One.
Oh,
I
the
call it
laser cut.
I call it the
Yeah,
pineapple scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, that's one as well.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
But that scene was like, I don't understand.
Same. Yeah.
Why don't the computer just make everybody pineapple just right off the bat?
Yeah.
Just do that first lah. Why?
Yeah.
You spend all the energy just like making one limbo and then jump time,
Exactly.
calisthenics. You know, like
Yeah.
not a very smart AI.
Yeah. I mean, there's logic lah. I mean, they're trying too close to the game. That's why they went like app shit crazy with.
I mean,
the
okay lah. I guess that's the reasoning but logic might be a bit of a stretch
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love watching that movie. I know it's I know this is a point of contact. Talking about like fighting and know each other.
Alright.
I cannot talk to him because he's like I hate those Resident Evil movies. I'm like, yeah, but I love watching them. They're
I'm okay
terrible.
with the first one. After that one, I cannot.
Yeah,
That defies the logic. You can have clones, you can like fly, you can have psychological powers through
mean-
CCTV. I mean, the list goes on and
They
on.
are terrible.
Yeah, it's,
I'm not denying that they are terrible.
it's a horror film on its own. That's
Yes.
all I can
Yeah.
say. Yeah, but you're right. Like, it's hard. Even in our region, like, I don't think there is any good zombie, like
Zombie
films. Like, I'm talking about good as in cult classic. Like, you will remember it
like Shutter
till the
level
end
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
till the end of time. Right.
I think it's very difficult as well because in Southeast Asia there's not like a lot of legends about
Yeah.
zombies, right? I mean, you have the Chinese 僵尸, but that's about it,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
the 僵尸-
That's not really analogous, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's no equivalence,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But you guys know I'm totally fact check me. I just
Yeah,
you know
right.
I just heard it from somewhere. So the idea of 僵尸, right, in the Qing Dynasty, right,
Oh yeah. I know.
was trying to transport
Drugs.
corpses back home,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
Yeah.
There's
so-
two theories.
Yeah, two theories.
There's two theories. One, they were just people dressed as the dead. Because you know how Chinese people are
Right.
superstitious, they pantan. So nobody will go and ask like this guy who's transporting like four dead bodies jumping behind him. But in fact they were drugs or like they were contraband.
Okay.
So that's one. Another one is they died very far away from their home, and then the Taoist priest like reanimates the body. Basically, a Chinese necromancer reanimates the body and summons the body to travel with him to far place. But that's where the logic flaws because rigor mortis is a real thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true,
you jump.
yeah.
Later the leg fall off. How to jump?
So it's the science, right?
Yeah.
I quote science behind it, right? Is this the Dao Zhang, right?
Yeah.
The Taoist master has actually strings attached to the tendons, and
Yeah.
you just pull, and you just pull, and then all of them will jump because it beats having to cart them around in a horse or whatever. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a theory.
Yeah,
I like that theory. I have to say, I actually genuinely like that theory.
but there's a lot of effort, no?
Yeah, it's a
It's
lot.
not
Like, if you
effort
have
lah.
like 5 of them, I don't think that's gonna work. You're not
I mean,
that strong.
If
lah.
you want to talk about harnessing the supernatural for unlimited power, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just put them on a hamster wheel, like.
Wow. Wasn't there like a movie?
No, those
Yeah,
are
yeah, Shaun of
zombie.
the Dead,
Shaun of the Dead, yeah.
So they got them
Yeah.
to be the workforce.
No. Before that, like it's like a dystopia where it's after the zombie invasion, then they got the zombies to actually do hard labor.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not Shaun
no,
of the
they-
Dead. It's not Shaun of the Dead. I remember the movie
Okay,
starts
okay.
from that point.
Oh, okay. Then
And then of course all hell breaks loose. I forgot the film already. It's like made in the 2000s or so. Yeah, it's quite
I don't
terrible.
think I don't think I've seen it.
Then there were like zombie activists. These zombies.
it's actually starting to sound familiar. I kind of.
Yeah.
I think I
Zombies are
know.
poor souls. I mean, morally, it's definitely wrong.
Yeah,
You do
I'm
not mess
sure-
with the
Of course.
dead.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure back in the day, right, people will be like, "There's no way there's gonna be zombie activists in the future." Nowadays,
It's hard, like
It's not- like,
you
it's
can
not
have a
too-
table activist also, lah.
yeah, it's not too
Pretty sure you
far-fetched
can
from
have
the
that
truth,
also, lah.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. You see, thanks so much, Ari Asmani. He says that stick to the Ari animation, boys. The movies didn't do any justice, of course. What movies? There's no Resident Evil movies.
Those awesome movies I keep telling you to watch. Now, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we have to totally study them for their techniques and stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Do we have any more questions from the crowd?
No, but please drop us more questions, guys.
Yep. So if you all have any questions for us, for
Yeah.
John and Jerry, jump in the comments and say.
Yeah, but if you guys really love horror, right? Junji Ito's works are really, really good.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Go beyond Uzumaki. He has a lot
Yeah.
of really
There's a whole slate of movies called Tomi.
Tomie.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
episode 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Still better lah. There's certain episode 8 or 9. lah.
Tomie is his long running. Is this girl
Yeah.
who never dies?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she cannot die one. lah. Yeah, and one of the recent shows that I am actually watching is The Girl from Nowhere. Basically, she's like the devil's daughter or something. So like she cannot die one. Then there's an anthology. She's going to teach people a lesson lah. So she's like the evil character, but at the same time she's like, yeah, I'm going to teach these people.
It's the-
Anti-hero
Yeah,
trope.
Yeah.
like it's like Thai movies. That's the thing about Thai movies. It's always about retribution. Like you're doing an evil thing, right? I'm going to teach you a lesson. So they use like the devil or like the supernatural to teach people a lesson, which I think is quite effective. Yeah.
Oh, somebody is saying the movie that you're probably
Yeah,
referring
Fido.
to.
Yes,
Yeah,
Fido. Fido. Yeah. That was
Oh,
that was
okay,
that was
okay,
the movie.
okay.
Yeah. I don't recall much of it. I think it was the character that's named
I
Fido.
remember the
In the end, he
concept.
ended
Yeah.
in trilogy. Yeah, trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, so one more question for you guys is, what are you most afraid of? This can be supernatural. It can be stuff that's not
Yeah,
supernatural.
right.
But what scares you the most?
wait. Before we let them answer that, we need to set some context for the listeners. So Jerry, you are atheist. You're an atheist.
Yes.
John, you are.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
atheist. Okay.
Jerry, you wanna go first? I've been talking a lot. You go first.
You know, I think now, right, at this point in time, even though I'm not outright afraid of it, or
Right, yeah.
outright afraid of her, I think I'm most afraid of my wife. Yeah, I'm not outrightly afraid of her.
Spoken like a true
But
man.
I'm afraid of her in the sense it's just one of those things. Yeah, you kind of make a decision around her. Like I don't know. Like some of you guys, do you do that with Nadia?
I mean, there's the whole like discussion of like, oh yeah, fear probably is not the word I would use. Discussion, yes.
Okay.
I want to jump straight to fear.
No, it's not like the fear is more of like doing something wrong to upset her. More like
Okay lah.
yeah.
That's just you being a good husband, Jerry.
It's
Yeah.
like that's like the most immediate fear. I think long term fear would be wow. Never really thought
Like
of
we
it.
were literally just talking about like spirits of retribution, like Shutter and all that, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh no, I don't have my, I'm scared of doing something to upset my wife. You make her sound like some kind of spirit of retribution. She's not gonna kill you or anything. She's not gonna kill you or anything, right?
Don't know.
No, but I get it.
Like I've met your cats. I'd be more frightened of your cats than of your wife.
Nah, my cats are my cats are. Yeah, my
Pretty
cats
sure
are
the
weak.
wife will put the cat in.
All three cats are cowards.
Yeah, my cats are weak. They're rubbish.
So I mean, in context, right? Like, let's say right now you get the chance to meet the spirit, or would you meet the anger of your wife? Which one would you choose?
Wow.
Like, I'm talking about like the scariest spirit that you could ever see.
I might go with the spirit. I
Wow,
might go with the spirit.
this man has dedication, and
I might go with the spirit.
Well, if you choose the other answer, then that's not really what he's afraid of anymore, right?
Yeah.
So,
Julian Alexandra said, "Fear of or fear for?" Prepositions, Jerry.
Both. Yeah, hi Joe.
Fear for
Yeah.
makes you sound like a great husband.
Yeah.
Fear of
Both.
I think it's a bit of mix
Yeah,
of both,
it's
lah, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not listening in, so it's fine.
You can send her the link later.
when Carl's editing, he'll do one special cut just for this question. Really.
Yeah.
For me, okay, also just to qualify a little bit, even though I am an atheist, right, and I used to be quite the militant atheist in my youth, I'll debate, I'm just like, debate me, bro, about God, I'll do it, but I think the older I get, the more I allow for various possibilities. And to answer your question about what kind of scares me the most, I think right now I would definitely say our humans' trajectory into the unknown. So I think we are pushing more and more into spaces that like really sounds like science fiction some of the times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
in terms of theoretical physics and all that. And the fact of the matter is, we know something like less than 1% of what the entire universe contains. And there's this 99.99%
Right.
that could hide a Cthulhu inside. Let's just put it that way, right? So,
Very specific, but
Yeah,
okay.
so I think that's kind of the fear that I have with. I mean, it makes me sound close-minded, but I'm okay with that. This like fear of the unknown. But for me, it's very specific. Like the more like the realm of the theoretical science, and what we would find in there and what are the implications for the rest of us, for the rest of humanity.
Right.
And that would be my answer.
Yeah.
I like how I like how you went out there to get to the Cthulhu reference. But for me, it was like I like there was once I went on a holiday with a friend. I was like snorkeling. I was like, I don't like that. I can't see too far into the water. And then she was like, why? I was like, Cthulhu might be down there. I was like, why would Cthulhu be hanging out in like, I think it was might be Koh Samui. But like,
Koh Samui.
why would Cthulhu be hanging out around Koh Samui, waiting for you to go snorkeling before he suddenly
You
appears?
could be just happen to be there while his cultists are doing some bad juju on the mainland, summoning him for
Wait,
some nefarious purposes.
Cthulhu,
right?
what religion? What is it? What religion?
No, it's a Lovecraft.
but
No, like he's the priest of the
Elder Gods.
Gods.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like, basically white, right?
White.
Like the cultists will be white, like white people, lah.
Well,
No, he has it all over the world.
Yeah,
so,
he's quite-
But the stronghold. Okay, I know this because I play Call of Cthulhu. Jolene Alexandra's in it. Hi, Jolene. Yeah. So he has his main stronghold is actually in like the Middle Eastern country.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. But this is not like an actual thing.
No, it's
right?
not.
It's like the H.P. Lovecraft mythos lah.
Yeah.
So the
Okay,
kind of
yeah.
like the universe that's been crafted by multiple authors.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh.
So apparently it's Irem now, the city of pillars. That's like the place where they like it's a bit like their Jerusalem or like a holy city for them in terms of the Call of Cthulhu.
So they're the bad guys, lah, basically.
Well, I mean in the Call of Cthulhu, I mean the guy who supposedly goes back to his family home, starts eating his friend. So who's the real bad guy here? Like, I mean Cthulhu is just hanging out in the ocean, right?
Yeah, I know.
He's just
sleeping.
chilling. Yeah.
But what is he doing here? Is he planning an invasion?
I mean,
Right?
what's the full quote? In his Sunken City Ruler, Drake Cthulhu lies sleeping.
Yeah, something like
Nobody ever said that he was going to do anything after
Yeah.
that. No, the quote is just that he's sleeping.
Correct.
So
he's dreaming.
yeah, so basically, I think you're right. No, the people are the bad guys. Cthulhu
Yeah.
did nothing to
So
anybody.
he chilling, then the cultists start doing stuff.
Then they woke him up, and anybody wakes you
For
up
what?
after you've been sleeping for quite some time, you're gonna be quite upset. What?
So I saw a perfect analogy once on like some Twitter thread, right? Which is, so imagine that you're Cthulhu, right? And ants are humans, and if one day ants start forming your name, like with their bodies, right? Like you'll be really impressed. You'll be like, whoa, what's going on? So and then if they form out like letters, which is completely alien to them, like they have no idea what T represents, right? But they just right, destroy neighboring ant nest. And then you just be like, yeah, sure, I'll just spray this, these bugs. Bzz, then to you it's nothing, right? But to them it's like, oh my god, they just annihilated the entire city with nothing, with just gas, and we didn't have to do anything, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that analogy.
Yeah. So Cthulhu is just chilling,
Yeah.
like just like you are just chilling, right?
So you're fear of the unknown that we might find something, like, and if we eventually find something, right?
Yeah, it's I mean I don't think
So
about
it. So you're afraid at the fact that what you know of like what's tangible or what's like in your spectrum, right, is shattered lah. Basically, if tomorrow the whole government of all the world is like ghosts are real, we've been fighting with them for centuries, and you'll be like,
my first response would be, wait, are you fighting them or are you like working with them? Like,
Yeah.
why are you admitting to this now? That's my first response. But yes, essentially what you're saying is true. It's like I think it will have really terrible implications for everybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so
Maybe that's why they don't want to
yeah.
admit it. You know, like there's this whole like theory and like this whole rabbit hole of like the men in black, right? The supernatural beings, basically. Yeah. So yeah, I've always felt that they know, but they can't outright admit it. Yeah, but there is always cracks, like slight cracks of like things like that one moment when someone asked Obama. So have you been to area? The famous area, right?
Yep.
What's that famous area name?
51.
Area 51, and he had like a slight delay in his answer, and like, okay, this guy has seen
Obama is
some-
very deliberate in his speech anyway. So
no,
it's like-
but
It
right?
should be an obvious. it doesn't exist. Like it should
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be the natural response, right?
I
but
just-
he had like a
But he was caught off guard, right? So it was,
I
that wasn't a question that was listed here.
yeah.
I just want to say that you bringing this back to the whole idea that governments know that, like, you know, there's supernatural out there just puts the image of Shunmugam in the Ghostbusters overalls back in my head again. I wish y'all would stop talking about this.
Yeah, no, yeah, like, I because I'm
You
yeah.
just imagine Lee Kuan Yew is a 僵尸, right? And there's the Taoist priest.
Oh, wow, thanks.
Then
thanks.
they put the string on. They put the string on him.
Pretty sure IMDA will cut the stream anytime soon.
It would be hilarious, right, if our feet just suddenly went dead now.
That would be dead air lah.
Yeah, lah.
Really dead air lah.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
Yeah. So yeah, I've always felt that the older you get, the more like things are not as black and white as
Yeah,
they
yeah.
seem, right?
I mean,
Definitely.
yeah, because I'm same as well. I'm a non-believer. I don't subscribe to any religion or anything like that. But like, even there are certain things where you have to admit that you just don't know everything.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely, yeah.
It goes back to the whole type 1, type 2 thing. And like, because I always talk about like how he goes out and he films the footage for Ghost Maps and everything. And it's always in some creepy place. And he's always asking me, "You want to follow me?" And I was like, "No, I'm not nuts. No, you do it yourself."
If there's a lion in the bush,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be there. Yeah.
If there's a lion in the bush, I will be at your funeral to say, "Kyle, face that lion bravely." That's what I'll do. That's why I stay back to make sure that everybody remembers what a brave man you are, Kyle.
Yeah.
So
You can't have both of you gone as then
Exactly.
like who's gonna pick up the slack?
Yeah,
Ghost Maps,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
pretty sure I will survive it.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
So Yijie is asking for army stories. Okay, I'll give you one real quick one, right? Not really a horror story, but more of like an affirmation to people acknowledging like things that we cannot comprehend. So my friend he entered the service the same time as me. So his camp was quite near mine. So he told me that his friends were saying that his entire barracks is quite haunted. Then I say, how so? He say, like, how would you feel if the first day when you enlist, then you see that at every corner of your bunk there's a deity statue, and apparently stuff still happen. Then I'm like, wow, I will change the statue lah. Apparently not working, right? Yeah, apparently
Add more.
and then
Add more. Yeah. Go to what Pearl Hill down there. I think they got quite a few down there that you can take back with you.
We'll take the one from the
The British
Oh,
Country.
yeah.
Corey. Yeah.
If you're looking for more, well, Carl apparently knows
And then
a
he
place.
still had the cheek to go and ask his PC because I guess he's not from that religion. He asked, so what are deities for? For your protection, stupid. Yeah, so that's your army stories. WSA said, always keep an open mind. We as humans can never be 100% sure to prove or disapprove something.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's
Yeah.
like for me that's the best way to approach.
There's
it.
still people who don't
Yeah.
believe that we landed on the moon. Lah. So,
I mean, there's this belief and then there's disbelief.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we have to humble ourselves in the face of overwhelming magnitude, I would
Yeah.
say. Like just the scale. Like humans are terrible at measuring scale, right? Like if I were to tell you something is 100 kilometers tall, and I will tell you, and I say something is 8 kilometers tall, like to you in your mind, you cannot visualize the difference,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But the universe is 14.8 billion light years wide, something like that.
right.
Like you cannot even fathom the scale of which that is, conceivable. And I think that's where we really have to be careful and, like I said, humble ourselves in the face of all of this.
So with that said, that you guys, like, even though you guys are atheists, you guys still don't like go and kick like 7-month stuff, right?
Oh man.
Or like,
of course
or-
not.
or-
Last-
No,
no.
like that's a horrible thing to do.
No, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that all atheists
No, yeah.
are like that. I'm just saying that some people like, it's not real. What? Then or like don't take photo of the offering. Like, hey, why so dirty?
Actually, you know what's funny? You know those. What's that group called? The people who go recycle food.
Freegans.
Freegans, yeah,
Yeah,
freegans.
I saw.
They actually went to pick up all the offerings on the street.
No way.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah, they
I
and they
saw
posted
that
it on Facebook.
during 7 months.
Yeah.
Then they got quite a haul lah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
got like don't know 700 oranges or something. Yeah.
I've always wondered I've always wondered where did they go?
Where did who go?
Like the oranges, where did they go off? Sometimes you put right after a few days, right? Gone.
the cleaners clean it
No,
away.
no, no. But sometimes it's like only 1-2 days gone already, and it's quite fresh. Still can eat one. So who ate it
The freegans.
before the
From the
freegans?
sound
lah.
of it, that's it.
Before the freegans lah. Before the freegans.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there are some people who do eat the offerings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think especially if it's okay, maybe 7 months they don't do it, but I think if it's offering to gods,
Yeah.
I think sometimes they do that. Yeah, they do eat it.
Yeah, I mean, you take it home lah, but like on the road one, it's not very hygienic lah. But
Oh man, the other day I was like last 7 months I was walking around my neighborhood. I saw this. It's up 7 months after the rain, right? Then there's this the styrofoam box with a whole rack of the char siu and the siobak floating on top of rainwater.
Oh my.
And I'm like,
Oh, man.
what a waste, man!
What
What a waste. You know, I'm not eating that.
yeah, lah, I
yeah.
mean, if you eat that, you probably get stomach ache or something lah.
No
Like,
shit, man, I will be here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jerry couldn't make it today. Why?
Yeah.
Well, funny story.
Yeah, funny story.
Since we're talking about offerings, well,
Yeah.
So first, Joe said, first law of thermodynamics: no energy is wasted; it merely changes form. Wow.
Yeah.
True. So, Jerry, thoughts? I presume that you're not from Asia. Is there an equivalent of skinwalkers in Asian culture? There is. Actually, there is.
What's skinwalker?
Skinwalker is basically
it's
like
Native American.
Native American witch doctors that can, or like demonic creatures that can take form of anyone, but their true form is like a beast.
Oh,
Yeah, like 8 foot tall or something. I
we have
think
it?
Wait, so what's the Asian equivalent of that?
Penanggal.
Can they take forms of other people?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, he's from New Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah. I we do have that. But we have a lot of different. Like we have the usual doppelgangers who can take form of other people.
I think
Yeah.
Toyo also can take a form of babies, right?
Most of the spirits in Southeast
thought
Asia, they can.
that's-
Yeah.
That's that's basically the
Basically a baby.
yeah lah. Basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's their true form lah. Yeah, but Penanggal. The first thing I can think of is Penanggal. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know Penangals could take.
Or like the jinns lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But I don't think their true form is beasts ah. Like because the skinwalkers, their true forms, they are like beasts.
Okay.
Yeah, they will just. Yeah, what's left of you need to be scraped lah.
There's one comment down there that I think it's worth highlighting. I think you know which one I'm talking about, Carl. Yeah.
So maybe you want to read it out.
Somebody named Nadia Dying says, "I'm listening. Good to know Wayne's not afraid of me."
Somebody gonna get hurt real bad.
Hi, dear. Okay, so I think no more questions from the crowd. No more
Yeah.
comments or anything like that.
Yeah,
Right?
if you guys
Okay.
have any questions, just throw it in.
Okay.
We'll answer them.
But while we're waiting them, do you guys want to promote
Yeah.
your stuff?
Let me do the John Wang's game time first. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
What,
so-
there's a game time?
Yeah,
There's a game time.
Yeah. So John Wang Game Time is a special segment on the Longkang bonus. So bonus is a more topical segment of the show where we do it once every 2 weeks or so. And so for that particular episode, I will do something called John Wang's Game Time. Basically, it's either a quiz or something along those lines. Right? I'm just creating questions. You guys answer.
Okay.
It was created when we were guests at other people's podcasts. I'm not going to name the podcast because that show was deleted forever.
Oh, right.
yeah. But so since there's a tradition, I'm going to extend it to everybody that I'm going to appear on. So this one right is called Guess the Ghost. Okay. So very simple. I'm going to list down 3 characteristics of a specific ghost.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you 4 MCQ,
Okay.
multiple choice question, and you just need to guess which one is it.
Okay.
And I'll tell you who's right, who's wrong. Whoever has the most right answers wins the John Wang Game Time and with no particular prize.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so here's the first one. It's a bear. Haunts a clock tower. Shocked a yeoman warder to death.
What?
Okay, so these are the 3 characteristics of this ghost.
It's a bear?
It's a bear. It
Okay.
haunts a clock tower
Okay.
and it shocked a yeoman warder to death.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, by the way, so in the spirit of racial harmony, the ghosts are arranged, not arranged, but the ghosts are CMIO.
Okay.
So we have one from each of the. So this is the other lah. Okay. So and specifically from England, since our colonizers was from there. So
No Eurasian ghosts once again.
okay. So answer A, Big Ben Bear. Answer B, Clock Tower Kodiak. Answer C, Old Martin. Or answer D, Pulley the polar bear.
Okay, so this is from England, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
What was C again?
Old Martin.
I'm gonna go Old Martin.
Old
I'm
Martin.
gonna go with B.
What was B?
B is Clock Tower Kodiak.
I'm gonna go with Pulley the polar bear.
Right.
Okay, so Wayne, Carl, and Jerry. Okay, so the answer is C, Old Martin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was a bear that was brought over, then it apparently it died at the clock tower, and then it's been haunting the. So the name of the clock tower is Old Martin as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So and one of the yeoman warders saw it and died from shock as a result of seeing a ghost bear, which I think seeing a ghost is bad enough. Imagine a ghost bear
charging
yeah,
at
they
you.
will just maul you to death.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crikey, that's a big one.
That's Australian.
Well, came from the same place, didn't they?
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay, so Wayne has 1 point.
Yes.
Okay, here's the second one. Probably have triple G breast cup size.
Oh, okay.
Okay, firmly in the mature section of Pornhub. Uses the Malay equivalent of ara ara a lot. Okay, is it answer A, hantu susu, B, hantu tete, C, hantu dada, or D, hantu nene?
B.
Yeah, B.
B.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, you got it right.
B, but I kind of wish it was Hantu Nene.
I kind of wish it was Hantu Susu.
So all of you got it, 1 point for all of you. Okay.
It's just such a guy thing. Everyone knows it.
Okay. So the third one, there isn't any Tamil ghost, but there is the so-called the Hindu ghost,
yeah.
Okay,
Right.
but this one is more Bengali. I'm gonna apologize to my Tamil friends for that, but there isn't much in the way of the Tamil ghost.
Yeah.
So this one, one of the characteristics: wear seashell bangles, evil, and will kill on command, and is a cannibal owl. Is it A, boot, B, boot, C, boot, or D, boot?
How do you spell all those options?
Exactly the same, BHOOT.
Well,
Okay.
How does that
Anyway,
one?
this is a trick question. The reason for this, right, is because when I was looking into this, every spirit in the Bengali mythology is called Boot. Doesn't matter. So these three things are actually three different spirits. So like the first one is a woman, the second one is a fairy, and the third one is a cannibal owl, and they're all called Boots.
So it's like a 3 point.
3 point to all of it.
Okay,
Okay.
so-
or none of us get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
up to you guys. Okay, so the last one is the Chinese ghost. Female ghost wailing under tree. Will give you winning lottery numbers. Murders you if you break your promises. Is it A? 吊死鬼, so hang ghost. 吊死 is gonna hang. Is it B? 无头鬼, headless ghost. Is it C? 变态鬼, is it a pervert ghost? Or is it D? Is it 芭蕉鬼? Is it the banana tree ghost?
D.
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 Okay, oh, you get the point.
I literally was doing research about this ghost, so yeah.
Yeah.
And the winner
Is
of Joan's
Wayne.
Game Night is
Wayne.
Wayne. Okay. Oh, Wayne is
Well,
extremely
well.
knowledgeable about ghosts.
The British one. The British
No, I think that's the tiebreaker down there. Because I knew for a fact that the British wouldn't come up with such exaggerated names for their ghosts.
Yeah.
It would be something
I had a
boring like
feeling
Old
also-
Martin.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Alright, thank you
Yeah.
all for participating. Hope
Thank
you
you,
had
thank you.
fun.
That was very fun.
So, the other Jerry's thoughts. is asking, like, he's from New Mexico, right? He's asking whether if, like, because there's a lot of supernatural activity near the government bases, is this a common occurrence worldwide? I can't say that it's a common occurrence worldwide. I can say that it's especially true in Southeast Asia. As Singapore, because WSA replied him and said that a lot of supernatural happenings in Singapore. I think partly was the reason is because Singapore is so small. It's probably the most haunted place in the world by square inch. Because we went through the World War II and a lot of people died, and a lot of the army camps that we use are actually internment camps that were used in the World War, and they suffered bombing and stuff. They are really old buildings, colonial buildings. You can ask our colonial masters. So
just as an aside as well, I said, I was talking to my mom this morning. My mom served in the army, specifically in the Air Force lah.
Wow.
So she was telling me about how they used to have like an all-female camp, right? So even though they were cadets and but they split, like they segregate based on gender.
Yep.
And the all-female side, like they get haunted like really really bad. To the point where the female guards, every night they have to do guard duty, and the female guards were like fainting left and right, and there were people who just fell out the whole course altogether. And it goes to something like the feminine energy, right? Is it the yin qi, right? So
yeah.
If you, like if there's too much like feminine energy, like attracts the ghosts as well. I guess they're all perverts lah. So just like guys in real life.
What was the name of the pervert ghost?
变态鬼. But that's not a real thing.
But it is now. Yeah. So I guess like it's kind of like we were talking about this in the first episode of Dead Air. I guess it's kind of sexist in how even like the rules of engagement work, like yin and yang. Because for our friends who don't understand that, right? Yang, it means that male energy, warm energy. Yin means cold energy, and the female body is associated with the yin energy simply because they menstruate, and apparently that is bad luck. That's the dirty in a sense. I mean, it's not pleasant but it's just biology, right?
I think they rebranded in TCM, like the traditional Chinese medicine nowadays. They like you say, right? So they call it cold energy, and it's really because like female are just colder in general.
I mean, it's simple, but that's kind of sexist that just because they are female and in energy, they are more prone to attract ghosts. Maybe the ghost is just a pervert. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the simplest answer usually is the best.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're all NUS students.
Oh, shots fired. Yeah. So Andrew thought that we were hilarious. I love the game, by the way, but I think you need to put in more hardcore one. Like, we have never heard of one. Those very hardcore one.
Man, I'm not an expert like you. I just have to go. I'm just going Wikipedia.
Just go to the rabbit hole, man. Just jump in the rabbit hole. Because all these got rabbit holes.
All right. On the 30th episode of Dead Air, when you re-invite me, I'll do it. Okay.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I genuinely hope people start spreading pervert ghosts as if it's a real thing now.
But for our friends who are outside of Southeast Asia, Pa Jiao is banana, or Xiang Jiao is banana. So we actually have a ghost in Chinese culture, banana ghost.
Apparently every banana tree has a ghost.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. So the Filipino banana farms are fucked, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
No, there was this news that came out, which I found quite hilarious. So there was this guy who got actually fined. I think he got charged as well. So apparently he took out a chopper and started chopping at
right?
a papaya tree, and then he said the papaya tree was haunted.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah.
Long fruit, bro.
Yeah. No. That papaya also got spirit.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and more. Then the reason that he got spotted was because a woman tried to stop him, and then he tried to chop the woman out, and then he got stopped lah.
Spirit's back.
And then guess what? The town council actually charged him money for it. I mean, for that tree.
Yeah.
I mean, he had fruits lah.
Did he try to pay with hell note?
Wow.
That'll
be a twist. Yeah.
Did he try to pay with his ordinary account CPF?
Wow.
That's as good as hell money. You never see.
Y'all never getting this government sponsorship.
Thanks, Horror. It is a horror on its own.
Yeah. Okay, so do you guys want to like promote
Pimp.
Sure thing.
Yes.
So Longkang Kitties, you can find us on Spotify, SoundCloud, most of the podcast playback websites. You can find us. Longkang Longkang, then Kitties with plural KITTIES, one word, and we have Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. In order to join the Discord, though, you need to find us on Instagram or Facebook first. But we do, I think, shout out to the Discord people, by the way. Thank you all for tuning in. I know there's a few of them.
Yeah, we got live chats on Discord every Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday, or
Yeah,
Wednesday or Thursday and Sunday.
And Sunday, yeah.
So that's all we have, I think. Is there any other?
Longkang Kitties listeners, if this episode is late, it's my fault. He's like,
Oh yeah,
it's I'm just gonna say right now, it's my fault.
yeah, Jerry.
I like how you made this announcement on somebody else's podcast.
Well, you can't make it on our podcast.
Yeah, not even on your
right?
social media or on
Because it's
somebody.
late.
Okay, all right. Any last comments from our
Yeah.
dear listeners?
Yeah, like Natalie Chan just came in with regards of ghosts getting attracted to female energy. Is there any link or to ghosts getting attracted to life force if blood is considered to contain life force? Any links to
Leviticus
17,
I
11?
am a very lapsed Catholic, so I cannot answer that question.
Okay, so I need to the president. I'm agnostic, so I am also not very well versed in that.
Yeah.
But with my research and what I listened to all these horror stories, I think they are particularly, like, for at least for the Asian ones, they are particularly attracted to bodily fluids. And there is one theory that was, according to one guy with a third eye, he says, "Do you know why KTVs are so haunted?" And they are, like, there's a lot of spirits. First of all, it's dark, and in the day it's not in use, so perfect place for them to rest. And there are a lot of people who are depressed when they go there. They absorb off depressive energy. Because when you go there, you go drink, right? Actually, it's quite sad because I worked as a club videographer for a few years. So people over there are like depressed, super depressed, because they usually break up and they want to get like a, they just get a
I
one
can
night
see why you're laughing already
Right?
before it even gets to the point.
So it's really messed up. So apparently the third eye person said that they actually feed off vomit. They eat vomit.
Oh, okay. That's
Well,
not the
Yeah,
direction I was
I know what you were thinking. Vomit, sometimes blood, and of course life force. Yeah, but the point of them being attracted to more female, I think, is more sexist than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Natalie. She's our Discord moderator. Yeah, she's
Oh,
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. What?
Thanks for tuning in. Yep.
I think before do we want to show them? No.
So you read it.
Before we close out, I think this is a great user comment or listener comment to end on. Good thing the guys didn't call the channel Longkang Pussies.
Do the R-rated version. Maybe the R-rated version will work, right?
If I do that, right, Angie's gonna take my head. I'm gonna be the 无头鬼,
Yeah.
right? And I'll come back as a 变态鬼.
No. Actually, before we end this, like, if you guys like die, right, then you go in the
Wow.
afterlife and you realize that you're actually a ghost, your spirit. What would you do? What's the first thing that you would do? Maybe Jerry first.
I would prank the living shit out of all my friends. Pretty sure I'll do that first. Like, I'll haunt other places later, but I'll prank the living shit
So
out
you
of
will
my
haunt places like a normal ghost, like part of the ghost
why not?
society.
Yeah.
Haunt, ah.
It might be like the duty lah. They kind of have to.
No, maybe you're a bum of a ghost. You don't haunt. You're like, I stay at home. I bum. Then all the other ghosts judge you.
I mean, I won't work that hard, but I'm pranking people because it's funny.
Will the pranks include your wife?
Maybe.
Okay.
Later he's
She's
scared.
not listening lah, so okay lah.
Later
That's
he's scared. There's no
That's a
offerings or.
Assuming I can phase through walls, the CPF building.
a bit late for that, right? If you're dead.
Wait, hang on a second. It's not.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So, of course, to find out the inner workings and everything, I'll find a way to communicate. I don't care. Ouija board, whatever. Like, I'm gonna haunt the closest Taoist priest until this guy
Taoist medium,
sends,
right? Then they
sends
go
my message. CPF is whoa.
secondary school kids, right? They have to play this like Ouija board, right?
Yeah.
Right, but it's a coin. And imagine you were just like the kids are just playing with. What CPF scheme got? Like they're just mind blown, you know. They don't even understand what that was
He's
going
like,
on.
Spook's like, I'm too young for this, bro. I'm too young.
Spirits, do you have anything to tell us? What?
I think my worst fail would be if I go into the CPF building and then there will be like PAP guards that's just like, excuse me, spirit.
Like, we've been here for very long already. A lot of people try to come through here.
You know, maybe that's the reason why the government knows there's spirits and don't tell us, so they can ward off these things. Like, you know,
What is the team for? Ultimate team for. You know, I'll probably
we love
do.
the PAP.
I'm a massive tech fan and I'm a massive like comic book fan. I'll probably go into like Apple's headquarters to see what they're working on.
okay.
This is like iPhone 20. I'm going to leak it somehow. Then I'll probably go to like I don't know, like Marvel's headquarters to see what's the next film. They were quite nerd lah.
You should try and like
Yeah.
beam the image right of the iPhone 20, which will be like this long.
Yeah.
Just beam it to your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever, and ask them to make a replica and burn it for you.
Yeah.
So even as a spirit, right, you have like the iPhone
Sticking out
20,
of
yeah.
Lightsaber.
I love how your version of the next iPhone is going to basically be the equivalent of the Abing comb with the thing sticking out.
Yeah. So Natalie Chan ended off with this. If ghosts are attracted to bodily fluid, does that mean any fluids that are from both male and female bodies? I guess so. Unfortunately, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, well, I mean,
the
there
logic,
are-
the logical consistency would.
Yeah, there are those people who try to summon spirits with semen also.
Yeah.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Seaman, sea spirit.
Yeah.
Wow, that one a bit hardcore. Yeah.
I genuinely feel we should end on that note.
Yeah, let's end on that.
trying to summon spirits. Some teenager about what are you doing in your room? Summoning spirits, I swear.
Oh man.
All right.
Alright, thank you very much for
Yeah.
Thank you
inviting
guys for joining us.
Thank you guys for inviting.
Yep. Okay, I'll do first of all before we end one quick shout out to Audio Technica for helping us with the mics.
Yeah.
Hey,
This-
why are we not getting sponsorships?
Ask the spirits. I don't know.
Maybe drop the CPF and drop the.
Drop the Shamugam joke. That's why we are not getting sponsored.
That is why we're like.
So big thanks to Audio Technica for
Yes.
passing us 2 mics really in a really tight deadline so that we can make them sound really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And as always, new episodes of Ghost Maps go online you can tell I'm reading this from the phone. New episodes of Ghost Maps go online every second and fourth Thursday of the month on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms. To make sure you never miss an episode, subscribe now and follow us on social media at We Are HANTU. That's one word, WeAreHantu. If you would like to share your own stories that could inspire future episodes of Ghost Maps, you can reach us through the contact form on hantu.sg. I cannot believe that URL wasn't taken. Or message us directly through Facebook and Instagram. You can buy our official merchandise like the t-shirt. I don't know if you can see
not
it.
wearing it.
No, he's not wearing a t-shirt. Laundry day. You can buy official merchandise like t-shirts, tote bags, masks on Redbubble, or be one of our supporters on Patreon. Again, search for We Are HANTU. That's one word, WeAreHantu. I have it written down. I just worry I'm going to misspell it. Alright, so that's our second episode of Dead Air. Just remember, just because they're stories,
it
doesn't mean that they're not true.